Okay, so I want to watch this AI animation demonstration video by Noble Goose. So let me show you the channel. So this is Noble Goose, who takes a lot of different things and turns them into anime, and this one that I want to react to today is called I Turned Lord of the Rings into Anime with AI. And I already watched, like, I don't know, maybe 1 minute of it the other day. Okay, so let's go in. So this is an AI animation demonstration video. Let's look at the description. I turned the most legendary fight scenes from the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy into full anime sequences using AI. AI anime fight scenes, 3 movies, 3 iconic battles. Gandalf versus the Balrog, the Charge of the Rohirrim at Helm's Deep, and Eowyn versus the Witch King. Every shot created from scratch, no original footage converted. Yeah, so this guy, Noble Goose, did not just feed the movie footage into an AI video generator, but built from scratch the AI video. Okay, and it says, in this video, I break down the full production journey and how I used Cdance 2.0 and Kling AI for video generation, Nano Banana Pro and Google Flow for image generation, Suno for original music, and 11 Labs for voice acting. My friend judges each scene, and if even one gets called slop, the entire project gets deleted. Oh, that is brutal. I really hope that his friend is not an AI hater, because people shouldn't just delete their creative projects because some AI hater said, oh, this is slop, this is slop. So hopefully, since the guy is his friend, he's not going to be harsh on it. Okay, and then all these things here. And let's see, I don't see any indication that this is an ad, so I don't think this is an ad or a promotion for any of these products. This is just a demonstration. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. And of course, we got Gandalf versus the Balrog from the movie. Let's go.
I challenged AI to turn the most epic moments from the Lord of the Rings trilogy into anime. 3 movies, 3 legendary scenes, all forged into anime with AI. My friend judges each scene. If even one gets called slop, I delete the entire project.
Oh, wait. Is there Berserk in there? Is that Guts? Sorry, I need to see that again. Okay.
With AI. My friend judges.
Yeah, why is Guts from Berserk in here? I thought this was just Lord of the Rings. Okay, so I'm not sure why this is in there. Let's go.
Each scene, if even one gets called slop, I delete the entire project. 100 hours of work, gone. The first 2 scenes pushed.
Oh, yeah, that is brutal. That is brutal. Hopefully, this is just a clickbait challenge, and he wouldn't actually delete all that creative work just because his friend says it's slop. That would be really unfair.
AI to its limit, but the third one nearly broke everything. Let's get into it. We start with the Fellowship of the Ring. The problem with this challenge is that Lord of the Rings is packed with iconic scenes the entire time. Do I do a cozy Studio Ghibli style video of Bilbo's birthday with
Gilby? Does he mean Ghibli? Instead of Gilby, does he mean Studio Ghibli? Is that what he means? He mispronounced it. Oh, and he also misspelled earlier. Okay, so we're on 37 seconds. Let me show you back where he misspelled. Early on, he misspelled.
I challenged AI to turn the most.
Yeah, look, it says flim and anime instead of film and anime. Okay, so he needs to edit his demonstration video a little bit better to eliminate mistakes like misspellings, like spelling film as flim, and mispronouncing Studio Ghibli. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. 37 seconds. And let's go.
Birthday with fireworks? Do we do Boromir's epic sacrifice at the end? But when I really thought about it deep and hard, there was really only one choice. Gandalf versus the Balrog. One of the most epic movie scenes of all time. But the second I started building this, I realized how hard it would be. The main rule of this challenge is that I can't just feed the original footage into AI and say, convert this into anime. Everything has to be created by scratch, shot by shot, with these hands. But the real problem was the bridge sequence. One long, unbroken shot of the Fellowship running across the bridge, ending with the epic pan into the standoff. Long, continuous shots with specific camera movements. It's asking a lot from AI right now. To solve this, I created a few keyframes. First, we started with the first steps across the bridge, matched to the ending of the last shot, so it felt like one fluid take. These keyframes, combined with the specific camera movement in the prompts, finally gave me this. It's just so epic. Have I told you how much I really like Lord of the Rings? From there, it was just time for editing, dialogue, sound effects, and boom, scene 1 was done. Let's see how it turned out.
貴様は通れ!
Oh, I like that. He told me it was gonna be anime, but I didn't actually expect there to be Japanese with subtitles. So yeah, that surprised me, but I also liked it.
私は秘密の火に仕える者、アノールの炎、闇の炎、お前の力にウディーンの炎よ! 影へ帰れ。貴様は父さん。
So 1 down, 2 to go. Oh, the two towers. Where do I even begin? The March of the Ents?
Okay, so before he gets into the next scene, I wanted to give a little bit of critique on this scene. I thought it was really good. So yeah, it really did look like he'd put 100 hours of work into that. And yeah, when you gotta build it bit by bit and get pictures and then use keyframes and edit and all that stuff, yeah, it's really hard work, really hard work.
The Siege of Helm's Deep? Great moments, but when I think about my favorite scene in the movie, when I think about the epic sequence that still gives me chills to this day, it's the last ride of Theoden and the remaining defenders of Helm's Deep into certain death and the epic arrival of Gandalf and the Rohirrim. Everything about this scene, as well as that movie, is perfect. Have I told you how much I like Lord of the Rings? But the problem with this scene is scope. I couldn't just start with the scene itself. I needed the build-up. Theoden and Aragorn deciding to ride out, Gimli blowing the horn, the ride into certain death, and then Gandalf appearing on the hilltop. You can't just skip the setup. Without the setup, the charge means nothing. Now, could I have just started with the charge? Of course. The video would be shorter, easier to digest. Hell, I could even chop it up into a short or a TikTok over some Subway Surfers footage so Gen Z could see the charge for the first time. But I can't just...
Oh, that is a brutal insult and very unfair, very unfair. I think Gen Z appreciates the original Lord of the Rings live-action movies. I think they do.
Do that. I have too much respect for these movies to cut corners. So, in typical me fashion, one scene, which could have been so simple, became 60 shots, 20 lines of dialogue across 5 characters, and enough cling credits that I'm going to need to sell all of my Lord of the Rings memorabilia. But that's fine.
Yeah, I think that, if I remember right, I think that Kling is the really pricey AI that pretty much no one can afford. So this guy has got the money.
Screw it. Aragorn and Theoden sallied off into certain death, so I'm gonna sally forth into less sleep and lower average view duration for this video. At first, the amount of images daunted me, but I quickly pulled the full movie into Premiere, grabbed screenshots from key moments, converted them into prompts, and then
Oh, by Premiere, I think he means Adobe Premiere. Let me look at the description and make sure that he's listed all the... Yeah, right here it is. Adobe Premiere Editing. Oh yeah, and using Claude for prompt engineering. Yeah, sometimes you've got to get AI to tell you, verbal AI to tell you what your prompt should be rewritten as to get some other AI that creates images to behave properly when it creates its images. Sometimes you got to do that stuff.
Fed them into my image generation. The shots were flying. The 1990s anime style, consistent and beautiful. And right when I was getting comfortable, it came time for the horse charge, and the difficulty went to a solid 12 out of 10. You see, when you're doing AI video, you're at the mercy of the model. The horses are supposed to stand still. Of course they are. But if your prompt is too loose, they start running forward, running around randomly. The charge shots required extremely specific prompts, first and last frames, and a little bit of hopes and prayers. But once
Yeah, sometimes you gotta write a prompt that's like 3 pages long, and a lot of it will be telling the AI what not to do, basically scolding it like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other thing. Okay.
I had the rhythm down and really started to be strict with my prompts and a little bit loose with my wallet, I started getting some absolutely insane shots. Let's see how it turned out. If you all don't mind, dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel helps me out so much. I appreciate you. Back to the video.
Okay, whatever he was using for sound generation on that horn, that sounded extremely bizarre to me. Oh, and when I pause it, I see the face really smudged, but that's pretty common for action scenes. Let's look at it again without pausing it, and I bet it'll look a lot better. Yeah, when he came around the corner on the horse and I didn't pause it during that action, it actually looked good to me. So a lot of these action scenes, especially with multiple characters or fight scenes, basically just like never pause it and it looks mostly really good. Oh yeah, and a lot of this crowd is just sort of merging together and turning into smoke and random debris and stuff because it's so hard to do large crowds and large numbers of people on AI, especially in action scenes. So yeah, this is an incredible amount of work to make it look this good. Yeah, so like a lot of making the AI look good is like figuring out how to choreograph your scenes to make sure that it doesn't contain anything that will cause severe problems for the AI. There's a lot of that going on. And of course, when he's trying to imitate something that's already been done this closely, he doesn't have a lot of latitude for that, but people that are like doing their own original storylines can figure out ways of like, oh, here's a way that I can avoid doing this particular thing that the AI always messes up on, and I'll just do it this way instead, and then the AI won't have a chance to mess up in the way that it likes to mess up in.
Yeah. 一人ではない。ラヒリーム。エオメル、王のもとへ。
Yeah, see, in the scenes where there's only like 1 or 2 people and they're not moving around too much, it looks extremely good. It looks extremely good.
So 2 down. The hardest challenge was still ahead.
Okay, well, he thought that scene was really hard to do, but I think it was done well. It had a few problems, but I really liked it, and it was inspiring. It's been a while since I've seen those movies, so I don't remember quite how accurate it actually is. But I think it's, as far as my memory goes, I think it's pretty good, and it does have that really inspiring feeling, yes.
Return of the freaking King. I'm just gonna level with you all right now. Let's be honest, this is my favorite movie of all time. I know that I'm an anime channel and I'm supposed to say that it's Howl's Moving Castle, Akira, or Ghost in the Shell, but I'm not gonna lie to you all. I get goosebumps even just thinking about the first time I saw this movie. Last summer, I saw the movie at an outdoor venue with a live orchestra playing the entire score. 10,000 people showed up to this event. It was absolutely epic. Now, with all of the incredible
Oh wow, that sounds really epic. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
moments in this movie, which one do you think got the loudest reaction? Aragorn's last stand in front of the Black Gates, the destruction of the ring, the epic charge of the Rohirrim on Pelennor Fields, which is arguably the greatest movie scene ever made? It was none of those. One moment.
Oh, I just wanted to go back and show this scene again. But see, the CGI of the time had similar problems to what AI has right now, where the really large crowd scenes, things just looked weird. So yeah, this is the CGI of that time. And it was done really well. It was cutting edge for that movie, and a lot of movies have degenerated with their CGI where they can't even do it this good anymore. But you can tell that, you know, with the old tools, CGI, computer-generated images, they did have problems with really large crowds that are sort of similar to the problems that modern AI has. So yeah, that's not just an AI problem.
Of the Rohirrim on Pelennor Fields, which is arguably the greatest movie scene ever made, it was none of those. One moment had 10,000 people on their feet screaming. Éowyn versus the Witch King. This scene is epic on every level, and I had to do it justice.
Have I told you how much I love Lord of the Rings?
But there was just one problem, and it wasn't the Witch King, it was his chain mace. You see, when you work with AI, you want to avoid complex action scenes. If you have to do one, keep it simple. The last thing you want is a giant Witch King riding what the AI thinks is an evil black lizard wielding a chain mace. AI can do a mace. AI can do a chain. AI cannot do a mace on a chain. Getting the images was hard enough, the chain was stiff at random places.
Yeah, did you notice how it suddenly turned into a sword? Yeah, there's certain things like he's talking about the AI just has a big problem with, and the easiest thing to do right now is just avoid those specific things, or if you can't avoid them, you know, don't put more than one of them in the same scene and confuse the AI even more, or find some way to cover up the error by like cropping it out, or you know, putting some filter effect on top of it that makes it hard to see or something like that. There's a lot of tricks people use.
Completely wrong. And then I checked my credit balance and I knew video generation was going to be an absolute nightmare. The first few fight scene generations were complete slop. I was running out of ideas as well as money, and I could not ship it this way and be okay with it. The challenge was over. 100 hours wasted, my pristine reputation as a legitimate creator on YouTube ruined. But that's when I turned to the one model to rule them all, Seedance 2. Seedance 2 is supposed to be dead on.
Oh yeah, so Seedance 2, what I've heard about it is that right now, hardly anyone actually has access to it. Like people, the hype about when Seedance 2 becomes widely available, there's huge hype about it. But almost no one has actual access to it. The ones that do have access to it are mostly Chinese citizens, and not very many of those. But then there's a whole bunch of websites that are trying to give away free Seedance 2 that are scams. And so hopefully all that will change soon, but right now hardly anyone has access to it. So I'm wondering if maybe he got access to it by contacting one of the very few Chinese citizens that has access to it and feeding that Chinese citizen his prompt, or what did he do? I'm not sure what he did, but he's really lucky to have access to Seedance 2.0 right now. Hopefully we can all get access to it soon, but he's really lucky.
Arrival in the US. The global release is delayed, but I knew if I could get access, I could turn these slop fight scenes into something great. But there's only two problems. Getting access means going into the deep, dark alleys of the internet, dodging the Chinese firewall, and hoping your credit card info isn't being stolen. Even after you get in, Seedance 2 has been nerfed. It blocks anything that looks like existing IP, and you also have to wait 3 hours for your generations to get finished. It's incredibly frustrating to work with right now. But deep in the Reddit archives, like Gandalf reading the ancient scroll, I discovered the forbidden white grid technique. Here's how it works. Take your image, 2 characters from Lord of the Rings. Seedance 2 is going to block this all day, but throw a white grid on top of it, and suddenly everything's okay. The results were mind-blowing. When we get full access to this model and don't have to jump through all these hoops, AI filmmaking enters a golden age. You heard it here first. So now it was time for the...
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot of people talking. So I actually did not hear it here first. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. They say when Seedance 2.0 enters the mainstream, Hollywood itself will lose all of its power within probably a year or two. That's what I've heard a lot of people say. Yep, lots of people saying that.
Final reveal. 3 movies, 3 legendary scenes, 100 hours of work, and it all came down to the last reveal. Let's see how we did.
野の肉を食らえ。
ぶっ殺してやる。
ナズグルと獲物の間に立つな。
I just wanted to pause and say how dramatic and spooky this is. This is very dramatic and spooky. I love it. It's really capturing the feel of the original. There was a like a watermark or a logo that was still in there. Let's look at that. Yeah, UArt. So I guess he wasn't able to remove this logo, or maybe he was required to keep it in order to use the footage. I'm not sure. That when she took off her helmet looked a little bit weird. Let's look at that again.
What?
Yeah, that taking off the helmet looked a little bit weird. That's a little bit funky there with the AI.
私は男など
Thoughts on scene 3, the epic I am no man moment.
I think that was probably the best one of the three.
Oh.
I thought the whole fight sequence between them, with him like swinging out of the flail, I kind of thought that would be not as high quality, but it turned out pretty well. The only thing I can really point out is the taking off the helmet was a little odd, but that's really.
Oh yeah, he noticed that too. But yeah, I'm really excited about the white grid technique. I wonder if that'll still work or if they'll find some way to nerf it before it gets wider release. But the white grid technique sounds very exciting.
About it.
Okay, so then all of this rides on your judgment of this last scene. Was it slop or was it worthy?
You know, Lord of the Rings is a big thing to tackle. You know, you got to put respect to the original and all that, but as an imitation, I'd say it's pretty worthy.
Boom! Thank you, my friend, and I'll see you on the next one.
See you, man.
Okay, so really cool. Gonna give it a thumbs up. And I'm glad that he didn't end up dumping it all in the garbage because a friend had AI hate. I'm really glad that it didn't happen. Of course, that threat might have been, clickbait from the very beginning. It might have been clickbait from the very beginning, just pretending to have that threat. But apparently, probably these other videos, there'll be similar things. I wonder if there's any point at which he throws it all away. Yeah, did he at any point throw it all away because his friend said it was slop? Don't know. Okay, so anyways, the link to this channel and this individual video will be in the description.